What's up, everyone? My name is Spencer, this is Jackson, and this is Sean, and welcome to the Season 1 finale of The Spectrum Show, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 12 of 12.
Yeah, let's give ourselves a round of applause.
Yeah, exactly. That's right, folks. This is the last of the 12 episodes of Season 1, and you might notice the set looks a little bit different. Just a little bit. That was very high pitched, by the way.
A little festive, you know?
Yeah, we suddenly have snow outside, which you guys can't see, and some different lights for some reason. A lot more festive, I think. But would you guys care to explain why that is, Jackson?
Well,
Absolutely.
I mean, holiday season.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah, true.
yeah.
But
Well, we need to call in the big guns this episode because this is the Spectrum Show Holiday Spectacular. And because this is such a big deal for both our team and the studio we film our show at, we got a little bit of an upgrade. And as such, we cannot wait for what's to come in this episode. It's taken months of preparation, but we're finally here, and we're actually on time for the episode for once.
Yeah, this time, the filming's, it's not so bad for our standards. Though, despite, being a little more time constrained, it's kind of justifiable this time, because we had to coordinate a lot to make this happen.
yes,
So
so much help.
to give you guys a little sneak peek behind the scenes, as we've said, months, almost a full year in the making, actually. And we've had so much help to put this together, and it's all to celebrate the incredible work we've done this first season, and hopefully a whole lot more to come.
That is absolutely right, guys. It's officially the holiday season, so we've got so much happening here today at the studio. So please feel free to celebrate along with us if you're watching at home, because we got so many massive reviews for you guys. Like, these are some pretty big ones, and
Two of them are.
Well, yes, that's true. We'll talk about that later. But we also are doing some things we've never done before in any of our episodes.
You want to give the viewers any kind of idea of what we've got lined up?
Give them a taste.
I don't, at least not yet. Reason being, before we get to all the surprises and the surprises we got going down in this episode, we actually have a special message, you guys. It's less than a minute, but it's from someone here at the studio, and he's one of the reasons this show is happening in the first place, and why we have spent literally months out of our lives to prepare the special you're about to see today. So that being said, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna go over the plans for the episode and get started. Don't go anywhere. The Spectrum Show Holiday Spectacular will be right back.
Hey Spencer, this is Jason Daniels, Executive Director at Access Framingham. Just want to wish you congratulations on a successful first season of The Spectrum. From humble beginnings, you came and really knocked it out of the park, you and your team, and I'm excited to see what the next season brings, okay? Happy holidays to all the Spectrum crew, cast, and audience, and have a good new year.
Thank you very much, Jason, and welcome back to the Spectrum Show Holiday Spectacular 2024. We are the cast of the Spectrum Show, and it's time to go over today's plans for today's special episode. So,
Spence, would you care to tell us the plans?
I'm glad you asked, because I don't have my phone on me, but I actually do have the entire plans up here for today's holiday festivities. So that being said, the plans are, we're going to start with 3 reviews. We're going to do first, it's right there on the script.
Well,
Reset. No, that was me.
Okay, so that being something. Yeah, no. So you go over the plans, then we're like, okay, time to do the reviews.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
From the top.
I don't think I need that.
It's okay.
I'll just okay. You know what? Neutral. Okay, neutral. We're good. We're good.
Thank you very much, Jason, and welcome back to the Spectrum Show Holiday Spectacular 2024. We are the cast of the Spectrum Show, and it's time to go over the plans for today's special episode.
And would you do the honors?
I'm glad you asked, because I don't have the notes physically in front of me, but I have the entire plan right up here for today's holiday festivities. So we're going to start out with 3 reviews. We're going to do one film that was not initially part of our initial slate.
Yeah,
actually.
we just wanted to give you guys a little holiday gift.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing Wicked Part 1. Then we're going to do Kraven the Hunter from Sony. And then we're going to be doing Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which is, as you know, our most anticipated review.
We just saw that yesterday.
We literally did, at the time of this recording. And then after that, we're going to do a couple of games. We're going to do a trivia game.
Questions curated by me and Jackson.
Yes, indeed. And then we're also going to do a little game of Pictionary, which we have a little, I think we have a whiteboard over there in the back, so we're going to use that.
All right.
And I think I'll be the one drawing, and you guys will be the guessers. We'll talk more about that later. And then we're going to do a little bit of a holiday little culinary showcase. We have some baked goods from a local bakery that we
they're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from here.
Exactly. And then at the end of it all, we're going to get into a special performance for from a very special guest. He's an up-and-coming artist, but I don't want to say too much just yet. So that being said, we're going to jump into our first of 3 Spectrum of Opinions discussions. Specifically, Universal's recently released massive blockbuster, Wicked Part 1. So that being said, what are your Spectrum of Opinions on this film, Sean?
I was honestly kind of surprised by how much I ended up liking it.
Same. I 100% liked this so much more than I thought I was going to.
Like when I saw the trailers, I thought, I should, theater.
This will be good.
Theater's a very extra like medium or whatever, and like the music kind of sings for itself.
Literally.
But do we really? I thought the colors looked a little muted or whatnot, and Ariana Grande sounds more like the kind of casting you do to get butts in seats rather than
Sure.
But in the end, the movie itself kind of like proved me wrong on that front. So
100%.
Grande's really good in this, as is Cynthia Erivo, yeah.
And I think we need to.
And the color, and if you're worried about like the colors in the trailer, like the trailer did not do the film justice visually.
100% agree with that statement. And honestly, so just to go over what the story of Wicked is, basically. It's
the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, we all know the Wizard of Oz.
Dorothy goes to Oz, and Wicked Witch wants the shoes she gets or whatever, and throws water on her. Everyone's Wizard's a big guy, but actually he's just a guy.
Yeah, but that being said, I will say, hey, obviously, for those who have seen the Broadway film, this is practically
Broadway show.
The Broadway show, yes, thank you. This is practically a director's cut of the Broadway adaptation, for lack of a better way of putting it, because there's actually extra songs in the film. Actually,
oh, were there? I don't remember.
There were. Someone told me that there were tons of extra songs. Actually,
were there? I'm pretty sure every song
it was every song plus additional ones. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, I don't know about that. Which song? You gotta check.
I don't.
First.
I don't remember the name, but one of my family members told me that there were extra songs. They saw the musical too. So, but basically, in simple terms, this is the story how Galinda Upland, is that her name?
Galinda.
Galinda Upland became Glinda the Good Witch of the North, and how Elphaba Throp became the Wicked Witch of the West. So it's pretty in some ways it's pretty simple.
It's a pretty simple story,
but
it's
very
not
effective.
I mean, it's not breaking narrative conventions in terms of theming or like plotting. But the plot moves along at a reasonable pace, and it's effective for what it tries to do.
Yeah,
but really, you're kind of not here for the plot. You're mostly here for like the character work and the actors' charisma and their chemistry, and of course the singing.
Yeah, and speaking of that, what was your favorite song of the bunch?
I was not really super feeling the movie for like the first 2 songs. Like I liked No One Mourns the Wicked. I was good with The Wizard and I. Like they were fine. They were just fine.
Yeah.
But around when they got to What Is This Feeling was when I knew this was going to be a good movie, because that one really leans into very, exaggerated blocking and, a sort of musical theater style of presentation and cadence and, rhythm. Not in terms of the song, but in terms of like how characters move and how like the camera frames them, that sort of thing.
100%. And
like I'm not a big musical theater guy, but I did do musical theater in college. And,
wait, really?
Not high school. So honestly, even lower on the rung.
Well, still, fun fact for you all, the viewers watching this.
But like even if I didn't know this was adapted from a pre-existing stage musical, like I would understand by like I feel like I would get a clue from like the cadence of how people talk, the way that sometimes they're like pause for a moment where the audience is expected to laugh. Like it still has a very theatrical,
100%,
cadence to it.
Yeah, and honestly, and what I did like about the, as a complete side note, by the way, and I think you absolutely make those points 100%, they're 100% accurate, but honestly, the thing that surprised me the most in this film, like, I wouldn't say surprised, but like the things that blew me away the most, I mean, first off, they actually got the cameos from Idina Menzel and, what's her name? Kristen Chenoweth.
I think
Chenoweth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, butchered that name there. But yeah, they got the original actors from the original musical, and that was a pleasant surprise, I'd say.
I mean, they usually do that. They do that all the time in Marvel movies.
I guess that is true.
Like Ed Brubaker in Winter Soldier, Straczynski and Simonson in Thor.
Really?
Yeah, John Ostrander in The Suicide Squad. He was the guy who put the bomb in Savant's neck.
I haven't seen that movie, but that's besides the point. The point is, it was a very good movie, and let's just talk about one thing real quick. It can be summed up in 2 words: defying gravity.
I mean, yeah, that's the big showstopper number. They put it in all the trailers.
Yeah, and wow, is that a way to end the film?
I mean, well, it's I remember a friend of mine said something like, "Oh, I think they divided it up into 2 parts just so they could end on defying gravity." And I'm like,
that's what
they did. They already did that. It's called musical acts.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. And that's another thing I want to bring up. This is literally a part 1 of 2, which actually makes sense for this.
Okay. Like I knew it was a part 1 going in because I follow film news and you know. But even I was like kind of really when we got to like the title drop and it had part 1 when instead of just calling it Wicked like all the trailers had been doing.
Yeah, but I mean Dune did that, to be fair.
Well, I mean, fair, like, movies in general should just not do this. They should be upfront about it.
Well, true. Just if you're gonna, I will say that if the trailer's gonna,
if the movie's good, it's not like you don't have a reason to see it.
Yeah, but
have confidence in your product is what I'm saying.
And my God, did they deliver on that confidence?
I mean, I have heard the second part, isn't really as well liked as the first.
Oh, God.
It is kind of a Wizard of Oz, but what was going on in the background style redux.
Interesting.
And maybe if you're really keen, you'll pick up on some of the song lyrics or like character names that will tell you what relevance this character is going to have when this actually does become the Wizard of Oz, actual plot.
Yeah, and I will say, originally we weren't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I originally wasn't gonna see part 2, but now after seeing part 1, I think we're adding it to the next year's slate. I think
even my family is like all in on this. They're all down to go for it. Like a couple months after it's released, like 1 month after it's released.
Part 2, I think, might do a lot of money at the box office.
I mean, this one did.
Yeah, part 1 did extraordinarily well.
Oh. Let's see. We covered the songs. Acting
was very good.
All around, like it's a great supporting cast. Michelle Yeoh, Peter Dinklage is in there.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum, but
Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande really kill it.
They steal the show in this.
I mean, they kind of have to. They're the leads.
Yeah, but they just take it and run with it.
It's hypnotizing. They're very convincing in their parts, and you don't really feel like Grande was just cast on name recognition.
Yeah, she was like, oh no, she actually has something in this.
And good God, can they sing?
Well, I don't think that was ever in question.
Well, I mean, if you were hiring and didn't factor in vocal talent, you should lose your job as a casting agent.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. But I think also popular by Ariana Grande. That was, I mean, it was very fitting for her vocal style, I will say.
Yeah, it's I don't want to say this, but it's a very poppy number.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally fine, honestly. But yeah, I had a really good time watching this film. I think we can both agree we enjoyed this way more than we anticipated.
Again, as a one-time theater guy, I love that this was a musical that wasn't afraid to be staged like a musical, to be a little extra, to, kind of lean into all those, trappings and whatnot.
100%. So shout out to the entire cast and crew for making this modern masterpiece, in my opinion. Or near modern masterpiece.
Dancing Through Life especially has some really creative just set design that really bolsters the choreography. Mm-hmm. I think the director, Arthur Chu?
It was John Chu.
John Chu. He said that if they couldn't get that working, then they probably wouldn't have been able to do the movie, but they could, and God did they.
Yeah, and so bravo is all.
Maybe this will end the trend of movies that are ashamed to advertise themselves as musicals.
Really?
Mean Girls was a musical, didn't advertise itself as a musical.
I mean, it kind of did.
It's a trailer had music in it, but like all trailers have music in them.
Yeah, and Rocket Man wasn't.
That's a biopic about a guy who made music.
Yeah, but still, I didn't expect it to be a musical.
And also, it was a couple of years ago at this point.
That is true. But
and what you didn't expect that music? It's about Elton John.
Well, yeah, I mean, no, I'm saying it wasn't expected to be in musical format, is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I'm glad it was because.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but anyway, is there anything else we want to say before we wrap up this discussion? Because we've been at it for quite a while on Wicked.
We just kind of had to gush out about that. That was very, very disorganized, but I think we got everything out of the way.
Yeah, it was a little disorganized, but that wraps up our first of 3 discussions. And when we come back, me and Jackson are going to reveal a film from Sony that is truly something, to say the least.
That's putting it mildly.
Yeah, that's putting it. Yeah, it's definitely putting it mildly. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. We're the cast of The Spectrum Show, and for our next Spectrum of Opinions discussion, we'll be reviewing Sony's recently released Spider-Man spin-off film. Well, it's no longer the final spin-off film, unfortunately. They just confirmed the universe is still going.
Oh, really?
Kraven the Hunter. So, Spencer, this is normally where I'd ask what your Spectrum of Opinions are on this film, but I'm pretty sure we're thinking the same thing about this one.
Yep, I'm pretty sure too. And honestly, for Sony's for Sony standards, this was a severe disappointment. Because, and allow me to explain why. But before we get into that, actually, want to explain what the film's about?
Okay, so Kraven the Hunter is about a guy named
Sergei Kravenov.
He should have been fundamentally the character is if you ever read Gail Simone's Secret Six and you know the character Catman from that, they basically just ripped off his backstory in this, which is honestly kind of nuts. It goes back into a bizarre film theory that someone on Twitter made. Bizarre in regards to the fact that it's worryingly right. That the entirety of the Sony Cinematic Universe outside of Venom has been trying to build off of the Secret Six comics by Gail Simone. Which is why they do stuff like Greenlight and El Muerto movie about a Mexican wrestler with 2 appearances, because the Secret Six featured Bane from Batman as a prominent member, and he's the closest equivalent they could have had.
That actually does make a lot of sense.
There's quite and then of course there's stuff like Kraven just being Catman now. Like, his backstory is almost one-to-one with the one set up for Catman and Secret Six. It is
really.
Anyway, so the film is about Sergei Kravenov. Sorry about putting that the
in.
son of a crime boss / hunter who ends up nearly being killed by a lion during an expedition in Africa. Ends up getting like a formula that gives him superpowers and starts hunting down criminals around the world.
Well, the potion is from the comics, I think.
The potion is from the comics. What is not from the comics is the Kraven sense he has. That's the best term I decided for it, where he can see things from far away using the most terrible-looking CGI zoom-in effect I've ever seen.
Comparable to Morbius, if you will.
I don't think any CG in Morbius looked that bad, actually.
Really? Okay, that's something. But anyway, yeah, this film was like, honestly, I thought out of the 3 franchises they had, Morbius, Madam Web, and Kraven, I thought this one could have had the most potential, honestly, compared to Morbius.
You're calling them franchises. They're all just one movie. They had one franchise.
The whole series.
Yeah, they have one franchise and it's Venom.
But you know what I'm saying, though. Like
I guess, yeah. I feel like Kraven, out of the 3, had the most potential to work as a movie.
But it just didn't, and
I'm not super disappointed in it, but like I kind of understood this is where it was heading, considering
Madam Web and Venom 3.
Madam Web and I didn't see Madam Web. I just know it's awful, but I really hated Venom 3. So
yeah, and this Sony should honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Sony I think should be ashamed of themselves for this one.
They make money off of it, unfortunately, so they're going to keep going, even though this one is another bomb. They're chasing the high of those. They're chasing the high of those Venom box office.
I'm honestly at the point where I'm hoping that this kind of explodes in Sony's face at this point. Except
I'm fully expecting whatever the next few they drop for this to be. If they actually don't get Agent Venom out in time, they have a chance that everything just explodes, because this franchise only survives by having a Venom movie every once in a while to ensure they make good profits.
Yeah, and honestly, I get to say this is the point where I'm gonna be like, if you're gonna do a Marvel marathon, like the only Sony spin-off films that I'd recommend you watch are the Venom ones.
Venom 1 and 2.
Venom 1 and 2, and 3 for if you like it. But
Yeah.
you know,
Okay, back to Craven.
yes. Where do we?
The
begin?
acting in this is bizarre on every conceivable level. There's a mix. There are some actors in this who have moments of like really, actually kind of strong performances buried in
I'd
the
say
rest
so.
of the mediocrity. Like, I think if he had a stronger script or was allowed to improv more, because the script in this just wasn't good,
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson actually could have done a decent job.
Yeah,
like there are moments in the film where I like what his performance is going for.
And yeah, I would agree, and I arguably say that like, and I will say the action sequences were actually kind of good.
That was the one thing keeping me going throughout the movie. The fact that we got to see
Craven.
I remember when me and Sean were seeing Red 1 in theaters, the thing we decided, this seems unrelated, but I promise it won't be. Okay. The thing we decided was this movie would be a lot better if it had a lot of senseless violence in it, and Craven is that movie.
Yeah, and I'm honestly kind of glad they gave this an R rating, honestly, because they could not have got away with that with PG-13.
I was enjoying the violence in this most of all because it was the one thing on screen that I could consistently be drawn to. Like, that's funny.
That, and also it was just plain brutal too.
Yeah.
It was like, because I'm just gonna strip say he bits a guy's face, a part of his face off, and one guy got split by a tree stump, and he used bear traps. Like the action was, no pun intended, quite literally killing it, and it was
very fun.
That was the only somewhat redeeming factor.
And then the horrible CGI rhino fight happens.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing I will say about that is, A for effort for keyword trying.
This might have the worst villain in any of the Sony Marvel films.
And the thing that, and we already had,
like, I can't say because I haven't seen Madam Web, and I know Ezekiel in that is really bad, but Rhino is laughably awful in this film.
Yeah. I think he was arguably more bad in his human form, I would argue, because like, I just thought his acting was just weak, honestly.
In his acting was weak, but in his human form, he at least looks like a person and not a horrific CGI monster.
I mean, and also, isn't Rhino supposed to have like a human face, just for, or kind of?
Saw in the comics is actually a guy sealed inside of a suit.
Oh, see, they should have just
certain adaptations. A recent one I saw in this line was the Spider-Man animated series from 2017 have him transform fully, and that's a common thing across several other adaptations because they don't want to deal with the whole suit thing.
Yeah, I mean, the suit I think would have been so much better.
For example, we see like a suited Rhino at the end of ASM 2.
Oh, that's true. We did see
and
one
it's
of
the best looking villain in any of those films.
Wow, bold statement.
I'm saying both the ASM movies because
I know.
He looks better than a Lizard, looks better than Electro, certainly looks better than Harry Osborn.
Yeah, but honestly, like. And there was a rumor going around, as a complete side note, like there was a rumor going around that Sony was considering, kind of the key word there, selling back to Disney and Marvel. I don't think that's pretty accurate, but then again, the key word there is considering.
I was talking to Sean about this, and I think there's genuinely no chance they sell it back, mainly because,
and if they do,
why would you sell a property with as much cultural cachet as Spider-Man? Like, Spider-Man, he is one of the 3 most popular superheroes on the planet.
True.
And you own him. You effectively own him and allow Marvel to keep using him for like movies and stuff.
That being said, I will say, I think at least Marvel would know what they were doing with him. At least.
Like look at the sales on the Insomniac Spider-Man games. Like,
yeah, I mean, they could still work
very
on
few. Like the only other superhero video game series to have that level of market value is the Batman Arkham games, and that series is dead. So.
Well, unless you got the VR version.
Yeah, besides the VR one, but yeah.
But honestly, it was just this. I was so disappointed. And by the way, no post-credit scenes.
Though speaking of Spider-Man, I do find it funny that the movie is just continuing that thing of refusing to acknowledge Spider-Man exists as a concept in these films.
But who do we think? Do we think it's actually going to be Andrew's Spider-Man, or do you think it's going to be someone else?
I don't think they're going to be able to get Andrew back no matter how much they offer him.
I mean, they got him back for No Way Home.
Yeah, because Disney was involved in the production of that movie.
Not touche, but
I don't think they're getting him back for like Sinister. They're getting him back if they can't get him back because like they want these to cross over into the MCU eventually. Like, the entire goal of making all of these villain movies is just, we want these versions of Spider-Man villains to fight Tom Holland's Spider-Man so we can make more money off it because we're the ones who created these versions of the villains.
They might as well just... So at that point, I mean, Marvel might as well just say, come on in, I guess.
And, like, Marvel just doesn't seem to want to give them rope, which I completely understand because, like...
But also, it might give them, it might be their only way of getting these films to be done with, honestly.
Like, just... And it also seems like Marvel is just going to do its own version of Venom in Spider-Man 4, and that's going to be really funny.
Imagine if they get Tom Hardy back, I'm going to be like...
They're not getting... I don't think they're getting Tom Hardy back unless the movie is absolutely just trying to be No Way Home again and falls flat on its face.
But, which, I mean, hopefully it's at least a little different.
Thankfully, the current rumors about it are from a guy who is notoriously unreliable, but if this movie actually does have Ghost Rider in it, I have words for Kevin Feige.
But, I mean, they're probably just trying to finish up the multiverse stuff all they can, honestly.
Yeah. But
you know
we're
what?
moving into X-Men now, so.
Yeah, but that's...
They're actually, I saw this a couple days ago, they're actually eyeing Sadie Sink to play Jean Grey.
Ooh, that's a story for another time, folks.
We'll talk about X-Men another time.
Yeah,
I have a lot to talk about X-Men, and Sean has even more to talk about X-Men, but back to Kraven, a few more points I wanted to go over. The love interest in this her acting was really bad.
It could have been...
Ariana DeBose, I really didn't like her in this film. Like,
yeah,
she felt very stilted and wooden for most of her lines. I'm not sure if it's the material she was given, because the material for everyone is bad, but also, like, she and Rhino were an extra level of bad compared to the rest of the actors.
So I would think it was probably just the material, I would think.
The Foreigner is the best character in the film. For those of you who don't know...
no idea who that character was.
The Foreigner is a Eastern European spy created by Peter David for the Spider-Man comics in the 80s and 90s. His entire deal is that he can hypnotize you into thinking he's moving at superhuman speed. This kind of looks awful in the film with the CGI effect they use, but it's also the funniest part of the film whenever they use it.
I really did not like The Foreigner that much. I just thought, like, the whole concept was just dumb, I thought.
I like the one where he was going for that hallway and just for no reason turned that guy's gun to his head. That was funny.
It just like, it must have been like a gotcha moment, right?
Yeah, he was just like, I'm just having fun here.
But that would, if this was a better movie, that would have been amazing.
Remember that one scene? Oh, speaking of The Foreigner, he's the facilitation for the strangest scene in this entire movie.
Go on.
Where they do a completely unearned homage to Kraven's Last Hunt. Oh, hey.
Speaking of...
Thank you, Sean, for bringing this in. This is the Kraven's Last Hunt Epic Collection, collecting the most famous Kraven the Hunter story in the comics. This goes for pretty cheap online. You can get it for like under $30, so look into that.
Yeah, so you're saying...
if you want good Kraven content, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Going back to what I was talking about, the Foreigner drugs Kraven like before the final fight of the movie. And Kraven has a hallucination of, like, a bunch of spiders climbing down on him.
Oh, yeah, there was a hallucination.
That is a scene lifted directly from Kraven's Last Hunt.
Oh, really?
Like, the story of Kraven's Last Hunt is that he's essentially become so deranged and obsessed with killing Spider-Man that, in a sense, Spider-Man has also become his greatest fear. So in that bit, he just regularly hallucinates spiders crawling on him and trying to, like, poison him.
I mean, that was one of the, I will say that was, in my opinion, one of the better scenes in the film.
It's a well done scene, I guess. Like, the CGI doesn't look awful, but at the same time, it's also just really funny that they put that in there at all and do, like, the weird justification of, oh, his mom hallucinated it as she was dying, because, like...
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
That's just a scene from Kraven's Last Hunt. That's a scene, like, directly tied to his connection with Spider-Man. Since this film refuses to acknowledge Spider-Man exists, why are you still doing it?
Honestly, that would have been a perfect post-credit scene if they wanted to have one, you know?
If
they wanted to continue that.
They really
dropped the ball on this one.
I am stunned that the recent information that they actually could technically use Tom Holland in all of these, but just chose not to, is insane.
Wait, actually?
Yes.
So they filmed scenes with him, but...
No, they never filmed scenes with him, but Marvel, like, essentially was like, you can use Tom Holland for these, and they just said, no, we're going to make these awful villain movies and not acknowledge Spider-Man.
They might as well listen to Marvel's advice at this point.
I don't understand. Like, you had access to him the entire time. What is wrong with you?
that I thought that, to think they couldn't drop the ball anymore.
No, we're going down even lower. We have El Muerto, we have Hypno Hustler, we have that Sinister Six movie that's never coming out because that's been in development for like a decade now.
So the only one that Silver and Black, are those films still happening?
We have movies based. Silver and Black.
Silver Sable and Black Cat is what I'm trying to say.
I feel like that one died already. I don't know.
It probably did, honestly.
There's a Spider-Man Noir television series for Amazon Prime.
That one might be.
There's the Silk Project that's trapped in limbo now, and I think might already be canceled. I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, because honestly, if you're gonna do a spin-off series, just throw it on Disney Plus. It's not even worth.
I'm going to be completely honest. At this point, I'm shocked that I have to assume the entire reason they don't use Tom Holland in any of these or want to make it that prominent is because
they're waiting.
There is some kind of deal where they cannot make a movie called Spider-Man or Spider-Woman without having to go through Disney.
I wouldn't be surprised
because
by that, honestly.
Why would you make a movie Madam Web where the character is functionally a Spider-Woman and is about 3 separate Spider-Women? You could just call that Spider-Women, but no,
this is not.
It's Madam Web. I have to assume it's purely because Spider-Man and Spider-Woman are specifically the ones you share custody with, so you have to specifically not name the movie after them.
I'm really just hoping that by the time we get through Secret Wars, we can just move past all
Even
this.
down to that, my theory goes into the Spider-Man Noir series on Amazon. That is actually not called Spider-Man Noir. It is called Spider-Noir. And I'm like, why would you call it that unless there's this rule in place where you cannot call a live-action thing Spider-Man unless you go permission through Marvel/Disney.
That's a good point.
That has to be the reason, right?
It would make sense, but anyway, is there anything else we need to address, or we've been rambling on way too long about this film?
Let me just check my notes quickly. Yes, I do have notes prepared for this film. Oh yeah, the chameleon. We didn't talk about the chameleon at all. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was the CGI.
Okay, so his little so for anyone who doesn't know, Kraven in the comics, his little brother is the supervillain, the chameleon, whose power is depending on the adaptation, he's either really good at putting on masks that let him disguise as people, or he can just outright shapeshift.
This was a shapeshift.
This is a shapeshifting one. He looks comic accurate for the one moment he's on screen, but also with some of the worst CGI in the film.
It looks almost alien-esque in a sense. But not talking about the franchise. I'm talking about just generally an alien.
I saw someone online compare him to the androids from iRobot. Those things.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. That.
And not in a good way.
And it also he also has the stupidest line in the entire There's 2 more stupid things I want to say about Chameleon before we wrap.
Yeah.
The first is that the justification for him eventually becoming that is that he's really good at, I think, lip syncing or just mimicking other voices. His dad calls him a chameleon.
Which technically, which makes sense, but also doesn't make sense at the same time because
it's really stupid.
It's not
and
great.
The other thing is the entire premise of the rest of the movie is Rhino's guys want to kidnap Kraven, but that night they're going to kidnap him. He finds he can't sleep in a regular bed because he lived in the wilderness for most of his life at this point. So he just goes to sleep outside, and since he's not there, they just kidnap Dimitri, the chameleon, instead.
A little bit of a plot device.
And it's the stupidest scene. It's the stupidest bit in the entire movie. All right, anyways, folks, we are finally done. Oh my god.
All right, on that disappointing note, we're going to take a quick little break, but don't go anywhere because when we come back, it's the moment we've been waiting for all year. I really hope you're ready for this because the next film is the one you're going to want to brace yourself for because regardless if you've seen it or not, if you're at home watching this on your computer or on your TV, close those curtains, turn off all the lights, and lock the door. If you're in the car watching a mobile, well, you're going to want to put that seatbelt on because I can see you in the passenger seat without that seatbelt on. And it makes me want to lose it because we're going to be in for one hell of a ride, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our final Spectrum of Opinions discussion of Season 1 right after this.
Welcome back, everyone. As you probably have already guessed, we're the cast of The Spectrum Show. Time for our final Spectrum of Opinions discussion of 2024 and of this show.
Yep. That's right, Sean. For this last discussion, we will be reviewing the film that we've been waiting literally all year for, and that is Paramount's recently released blockbuster, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Sorry, Marvel Studios. So what are your spectrum of opinions on this film, guys?
I mean, Marvel only put out one movie.
I mean,
this year,
Deadpool and Wolverine was pretty good. I was
but,
anticipating them about as much.
okay, but on to Sonic, how was that?
Outside of a kind of weak section near the start, I really like this movie. I'd say it's about as good as Sonic 2.
I also think it's about as good as Sonic 2.
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit better, but not by a whole lot.
Like, okay, so, you know, this isn't a complicated movie to describe. You know, Sonic and the gang are back, and also Shadow's here now, and they gotta stop him from doing a bunch of bad stuff.
But Shadow isn't working alone. He's actually working with Eggman's grandfather, Gerald Robotnik,
Who is supposed to be dead, mind you.
who is 102 years old, and the movie 110 years old, and the movie never explains how he's still alive. Which honestly, I don't even care. That's just funny.
And
It's a kid's movie. What do you expect?
well, I mean, you know, they bring it up in movie that he should be dead.
Oh yeah, that's
It's like we're the same actor playing two characters in a film.
I mean, at least if that's the only fourth wall break the Sonic series is gonna get, that's a good one to do.
Okay, so
Turning on Jim Carrey was good.
okay, getting into more detail, I do kind of agree that with, like, it almost feels like they're trying to make the first section of the movie just like, you know, as much of like they're trying to match the pacing up with the first trailer.
Yeah, and a lot of
Like they kind of just burn through a lot of information at the start.
They burn through
not
the
a lot of
entire.
setup.
They burn through like the entire trailer at the start.
yeah, but hey, that leaves us more room for extra stuff at the end at least.
You know, I was actually surprised by how much it picked up.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was
Personally, I think the movie picks up the second Gerald comes on screen.
Gerald, okay.
we need to talk about the cast because God is a
Oh
good.
my God, this is Jim Carrey's best performance in the trilogy.
Yeah,
Really?
no, all of like, you know, the cartoon talking animals are great, but you know, since we're talking
This
about
is Jim Carrey's film.
like Eggman, yeah, no, this is the Jim Carrey hour starring Jim Carrey.
He's credited first, so
Yeah, and I will say if this is his last role, which it very well could be, I think it
Look, and they were.
good would end. I'd say.
I mean, there was rumblings after Sonic 2 that he wouldn't appear in the third one, and I know like he keeps going out in increasingly outlandish ways as the movies go on. But it would be hilarious if he still came back. Not Gerald though. He's gone for good.
Yeah. Can we just pause for just a quick sec because we need to acknowledge those deaths. They were brutal.
Mostly just the one.
Gerald's death is more brutal than anything in Kraven the Hunter.
but honestly,
He just disintegrates, man.
Bro just evaporates out of existence.
like that. Like, let's just be real. That's hardcore for a kid's film.
Like he hits the Chaos Energy wall and he's gone.
I don't know. Hardcore for a kids thing is stuff you see on like Japanese tokusatsu type things.
But still, my point still stands.
This is, I don't know if this is hardcore, but it's like halfway to hardcore.
He hits the wall and is gone.
But God, that like most kids would look like if that's just intense to say the least. But I will say, Ivo, a regular Eggman, at least his was a cool way to go.
Okay, what's everyone's favorite Jim Carrey line in this movie? Because
There's a few.
I mean, it's hard to choose.
It's really hard to choose.
I think mine is how horrible. I know, right? A woman in the military.
God, finding out Gerald is like just a huge misogynist to like hit me with a bunch of whiplash.
That scene took us out.
Like my jaw like dropped when I saw that.
What a good fucking what a good
you know,
what a
can we-
good show.
Let me just clarify. It's not going to age well, that line, and it's a
What
very
do you mean not going to age well? The point is that he's a jerk.
I know, but
The point is that he's a jerk and old.
But I'm saying, but it's insensitive. That's what I'm trying to
Well,
say.
I mean,
here.
it's intentionally insensitive
Yeah,
to
because
show he's a jerk.
He's to show he's jerk and a guy who is old as heck and has been in that bunker for 40 years.
yeah, but like,
Seriously, how is he alive?
but regardless of what you say,
Also, the dance scene in this one blows the first one out of the water,
It's
or the
so
second one out of the water.
I would actually, I like the first. Like, well, how would you rank those? Like, for me, it's.
I think they're both. What was there a dance scene in the first one?
I don't think
Yeah, there was Jim Carrey in the sim.
Oh, that was a really good one.
I think
it's
3, 1, 2. I
From
think.
bottom to top, it's 2, 1, 3.
What was? I don't even remember.
You know the Uptown Funk one?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It was
The one in the Russian cabin?
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that's the weakest.
Yeah, but they were all good. But 3 was the most
Yeah,
fun.
Eggman is always the best in these.
Yeah, but
They realized that they realized that not having him in the dance scene in 2 was a bad idea, so they decided to come back in full.
that being
side.
said, I will say, like, I mean, we knew there was gonna be a dance scene. Let's be real. Like,
I mean, it's the kind of movie it is, like
but
animated
this-
talking animal kids movie.
yeah, but like there were so many scenes where I'm like, this is just incredible for a kids movie. Like, and I will say, I mean, this is definitely a sign of the times that we're currently living in. But wow, there were some choice words, and not only like the misogyny thing, but also like the way that like there were a couple of curses in this.
I mean, yeah, no, they do that all the time in kids movies. Like just
They can get away with it as long as they don't say the F one.
Yeah, but they said bad. We know the rest.
I mean, I don't.
They
They think
two
they say
S's.
bad words all the time in Marvel movies that aren't Deadpool and Wolverine.
I mean, yes, but this is not PG-13. This is PG.
Yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
They can get away with a hell and a damn here and there.
Yeah, but
Where's that damn 4 of chaos?
They could have done that. They should have done that.
And I just realized they said "damn" in the film, but they didn't.
Sean's-
It wasn't Shadow who said it.
Sean's
Okay.
biggest grievance is that they didn't say Sayonara Shadow the Hedgehog in it.
Yeah, no. If you're expecting, they do the low budget flight, no food or movies line though. You know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, there are Sonic Adventure 2 references in this,
and a
I'm
Shadow
gonna-
Quite a few actually.
Yeah, and a Shadow the Hedgehog reference too, which they're
like there's like
Slightly.
the gun, the motorcycle, and the fact that he's clearly
Alien.
like, okay, so Shadow in this is not like some genetic lab grown thing. He's like an alien. He's an alien like the rest of the cast because they figured, like, you know, in the Sonic games, like the animals are just part of the world and no, they're not odd. Like, so Shadow being a genetic experiment thing isn't like too far out there. But
Yeah.
in this, it would be weird if they like grew in a lab one of these talking aliens
That is true,
before like
yeah.
Sonic came here.
Yeah.
So, and it just coincidentally looked like Sonic. So in this, he's an alien, but he comes down in what is probably a fragment of the Black Comet.
Yeah, which would make sense. I
Honestly,
guess.
my biggest criticism of the Shadow flashback is I like them a lot, but I wish Shadow was Baby Shadow, like Sonic was Baby Sonic in the first
Well,
one.
that's not gonna.
Like,
that
I
wouldn't
wish
happen.
it was Baby Shadow because Baby Shadow would be really cute.
You know, we were talking about the actors, and we got to talk, like, you know, all the, the regulars are fine. Ben Schwartz, Colleen O'Shaughnessy, and Idris Elba. They're all still doing good. Keanu Reeves, I think, you know, Jackson thinks that every other line or so is like...
Not every other line, but there's like a few lines that stand out as being iffy from him.
Yeah,
But I think like he nails like almost all of his lines. I think he's good.
My favorite voice performance in this was actually Idris Elba.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
it
fine
says
with
something
it.
because you reviewed Knuckles.
I did not like
No, the problem with Knuckles was there wasn't enough Knuckles.
Okay, yeah, but let's just say, like, I will say that I do agree. I think Keanu could have. I liked Keanu's performance in this. I think it could have been delivered a little bit stronger.
No,
I
I
think.
don't think he did fine.
I feel like there
on.
was some cleaning up to do. It's clear that
But if they do a
He
Shadow,
does get the funniest line in the movie,
he
though.
does.
With that being said, if we get a Shadow spinoff, that'll be a chance
Shadow
to really
Shadow
clean
spinoff.
it.
I'm legitimately shocked they haven't announced it yet.
They're probably waiting for
A Shadow
it.
Secretly, secretly the main character is the Kristen Ritter lady from this one.
I don't think. I think hopefully Paramount learned from their mistakes on this one. But we did actually see Adam Pally in the movie, but just for a very brief moment.
Honestly, I really like how even though I don't like Knuckles, I like how they set that up. It was a good it was a good way to homage it.
Yeah, and also like
Knuckles calling him a fierce warrior, that was cute.
You know,
yeah, and they were like, and they must have been like, well, we gave him enough Adam Pally and Knuckles. We might as well just give you a teensy bit here.
this
just to
one
suffice.
might be like the most like indulgent of the Sonic movies so far. Like this is like, you know, they've done like video game references to the music and games and lines from stuff before, but it gets really like it gets
Sonic-y.
Yeah, it gets like they do it a lot here, is what I'm saying. Like the movie literally opens up on an acoustic version of Live and Learn.
Oh yeah, that's right. It did open.
And then it ends with an orchestral live and learn.
By a good old Junkie XL.
God.
But anyway, that's besides the point.
In fact, I was half expecting for the Eclipse cannon to just turn into a giant lizard apropos of nothing.
But you know what? it made sense that they didn't do it here.
Brother, you've disabled my voice modulator.
We don't need to start plugging real-time fandom now.
I'll just say I have no idea what he's talking about, but
We need to show you real-time fandom.
That'd be a good Patreon content. Like we show Spencer the real-time fandoms.
Well, I mean, this is a family show. We'd have to bleep out all the expletives.
Oh god, that would take a lot. I mean, Patreon.
2 words: sweet Jesus. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say to that. But we
it's really. I mean, like I was saying, it's really indulgent. Like, I think at one point, like EGGMAN plays on Eggman, like on Eggman's phone.
It did. It was in the credits.
It was in the credits. We know it's.
And
EGGMAN.
And to the that one scene in Deadpool and Wolverine where he finally puts the hood on. This movie kind of has that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say we probably were idiots in that crowd because there was a lot of kids in that crowd.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a kids movie.
Well, yes, but like I didn't expect to be that many on opening night is what I'm trying to say.
It's opening night.
Movie. Like opening night, like the opening weekend is when they make most of their money.
True, but like, anyways.
Can I talk about the Knuckles thing actually?
Yeah,
okay.
Go on.
I honestly kind of thought, the trailers gave me this implication, I thought that Knuckles wasn't really going to have much to do in this movie.
He did!
Largely because the trailers seemed to be kind of pushing him more as like a joke character compared to the last one.
Well, I mean,
were we wrong?
He's the less serious action dude who thinks he's in a very serious plot line compared to Shadow.
But at the same time, I honestly really respect how he plays a pretty sizable role in what Sonic's arc in this
I 100% agree.
He's Sonic's rock.
Like he's essentially trying to keep
him sane.
Even though he was, I like the contrast between him like going for it's actually Team Knuckles at the start of the film, but when things start to break down, his entire thing is like, I'm going to keep this team together no matter what. Like,
so he's the heart of the
team. My
team,
selfish desires don't matter when the chips are down.
One thing I think the Sonic movies, like, even if they're not like the most like narratively like complex or most like
they've got a lot of heart.
Like they're not the like most artistically done thing. Like they're not the most high-minded type thing. One thing that they get that a lot of other things, like just big franchise films and products in general, don't, is that you gotta at least try to have a theme or like a heart or
and this
something
film,
to take away
and
from
Knuckles
it.
was totally the heart of this.
Well, even if it's minor, like even if it's just a small thing, and I think all of these movies have that in some way, and that's why they end up kind of people end up vibing with them.
You know how like the first movies, a metaphor for illegal immigration.
Is yeah.
Or I don't get
undocumented immigration. Me and Sean have talked about this a lot.
We're not going to get into it now, but if you know, you know.
If you've seen the first movie and read it from the level of Sonic is an undocumented immigrant, it makes a lot more sense.
Anyway, we need to talk about 2 sets of really important things. First off, final battle. Oh
yeah,
my
that was great.
God.
Honestly, I love the Supersonic and spoiler Super Shadow parts, but my favorite was just Eggman and Gerald flailing around at each other with stupid technology.
I do like
and jokes too.
Since I watched Green Lantern in 2011.
Like that, I did not see that one coming.
This is an oft forgotten part of Sonic 2, and that it wasn't really made clear in the English version, but part of the reason Shadow's like so bent on destroying humanity in that game is that Gerald actually was implied to have rewritten his memories after Maria's death so that he didn't remember what his promise to Maria properly.
Really?
Oh, that actually makes sense.
And they kind of
that does actually make sense.
Kind of do a version of it
like
here.
they kind of do like a bit of like they do that here, but he's more of a presence because he's doing it directly.
Yeah, he's essentially gaslighting Shadow in real time.
Yeah, but
references to the Snapcube dubs excised.
I'm not getting any of these. You can't tell I'm not getting any of these references. And that's gonna be a running thing in this show, isn't it? Me not getting any of these guys' references.
We will show you them eventually. We'll show you them eventually.
What's the second thing you wanted to talk about? The post credits.
Yes, because there's 2 of them. We'll do the obvious one first.
The second one is like Shadow lives.
Shadow's fine. Shadow's fine.
It makes total sense.
And he's probably getting a TV show next year.
or 2026, because apparently
20. Yeah.
Because I will say, the
God, I'm
first
already thinking of 2026 as next year.
But let's just say, the first post-credit scene, there was one part of it I really didn't see coming. Like,
Yeah, no, I actually had seen the first post-credit scene before the movie.
Yes, big spoiler.
Big spoilers. If you don't want, skip ahead. If you don't want to, we'll put
Thank you.
We'll put
Okay,
a time.
so
We'll put a time
I'm gonna
code in
give
the.
you-
No, we'll put a time code in the YouTube description so you can jump ahead from this.
Okay, so 3, a 2, a 1. It's Metal Sonic,
at first,
and like I knew that, but then
you see multiple.
yeah, no, it's like. I think they
Terminator
figured,
2, Rise
Sonic,
of the Machine.
Sonic 3 is already about Sonic versus an evil dark mirror of Sonic.
But
so, like, if we're going to do Metal Sonic, we lean into the robot angle, and he's mass-produced now.
Yeah, but but honestly, like,
And then...
what? Like, how? Like, that changes kind of... Has that ever been done in, any other media?
I mean, not... Like,
I know what they're taking from.
There
but
have been
I'll
a
talk
bunch
about
of
it later.
different types of robot Sonics, but Metal Sonic as, like, himself a collective, not really. I don't think they've done that in the games.
Yeah, that seems that seems like an original idea right there.
And I'm good. Coming in to save him. Secondary spoiler if you're fine with that one, but not this next one. 3, 2, 1. Amy Rose swoops in and saves him.
Yeah, but here's what I will say about Metal Sonic. He looked incredible.
I mean,
he was great.
Like the benefit of working with a robot character is you don't need to worry about making him look realistic or lifelike.
Yeah, and the other thing about we'll say about Amy, we don't know who's voicing her. She didn't have a single line in the show.
They probably don't want to commit to a celebrity voice actress. Now that I think about it, Colleen O'Shaughnessy and like Tails in general didn't have as much going on for them as the other characters in this movie.
But I will
maybe they just like wanted to headline all the celebrity actors. Who can say?
Yeah, but if they were to do a celebrity voice actress for Amy, who do you think it's
Look,
gonna be?
I'm not speculating on that sort of thing. It always ends up useless in the end. I think I've predicted a celebrity casting. The one celebrity casting I've ever predicted was Brie Larson getting cast as Carol Danvers / Captain
Really?
Marvel.
Wait, you predicted that?
Well, I mean, before I knew you, I suggested it to myself. But look, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. You can totally not believe me on this.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I mean, like, who cares if I'm lying about this?
Honestly, the funny thing is, I think she could do a pretty good Amy.
Oh, here we go.
I think.
Of course, the most unbiased source.
The most completely unbiased.
No, I honestly I kind of agree, but if it's not her, I think there are a couple other good options. Like,
Is it weird that the first one that came to my mind, but I kind of wrote off because it would be too obvious, was Anya Taylor-Joy?
I wouldn't mind that.
I'd like to see her in a good video game adaptation.
But you know what I was actually thinking someone who you guys probably weren't thinking. I was thinking a little one out of left field. Isla Fisher could be an incredible Amy. Like
Isla Fisher?
Yeah, like listen to her.
Isn't she like that one lady from the recent Mission Impossible movies?
That's not what I was thinking. She was in Now You See Me, actually, the first one. And, I'm going to show you.
Have not seen those.
Which they're really good, actually. But I saw the first one at least. And she was like, I'll play you a clip from like an opening clip from it. She has a line in there that's like, yeah, that's Amy angry right there. Like, I'll show you after.
I got.
Look, I'm just wondering if they're going to go with modern Amy as opposed to Sonic obsessed fangirl Amy.
I've actually got 2 big predictions. One related to that, and one related to what the next movie is.
And I think these are actually pretty plausible.
Okay.
Next movie, Sonic CD.
Like Sonic CD.
They already set up like the whole Metal Sonic has a bunch of him for some reason. My implication is that it's time travel.
It's a Terminator.
It's going to be Terminator. He's from the future where he controls the world, and Amy came back to stop.
Who knows?
Maybe
It's going to be like a pseudo Mobius type thing.
But I will.
And 2, Amy, and his prediction is that Amy is going to be
my other prediction,
upset, kind of have the affection for Sonic because she's idolized him as some mythological figure from her future.
Well, it could also be vice versa too.
Well, I mean,
I don't really see Sonic idolizing her because he doesn't know her.
It would be a nice twist though in the future.
I mean,
but I will say, me and a friend who's been on the show before, Tommy, who's been on live streams, he actually came up with an interesting prediction because they took aspects of SA2 and Shadow in this film. What if we could take that a step further and maybe do CD and Heroes and
I mean, Heroes isn't just Team Sonic and Amy.
That's
and
what I'm saying.
Metal Sonic.
They can introduce more characters.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't
they
think
could
they
introduce them as like the resistance that Amy
Yes,
has in the
exactly.
future, maybe,
That's
but
exactly what I was thinking.
I don't really see them doing that like to such an extent that it's going to be able to do a Heroes thing, but
But I will say.
I mean, like one new cartoon animal per movie, or one or two new cartoon
and
animals
if
per
they
movie
wanted to
seems
do
to be the
Hero, and
limit.
if they wanted to do Heroes, they would have to introduce 7.
That is true. They have a lot of
7 new ones in one film.
or across multiple projects.
I mean,
too.
to start off, Heroes isn't even really like the most narratively driven Sonic game.
And it doesn't need, but for a movie, it doesn't need to be.
My
Well, I
assumption
mean,
is
if you- I wanna have a
the
good-
only thing they're gonna steal. The only thing that I think they're gonna lift directly from Heroes is Neo Metal Sonic.
I agree, but they do need to get the
we're-
other characters. in
That
at
is
some
gonna
point.
like it's gonna be. We're gonna have Amy. We might get teases for like other characters that appear in Heroes, but the main premise will ultimately be focused on Team Sonic and Amy. And they have to beat up Metal Sonic, who ends up becoming Neo Metal Sonic
And, like,
for
the
like
next-
the big final fight.
I will say the one thing I think there is probably a way you can introduce everyone in one film. It's just got to be perfectly done, is all.
I am kind of wondering how these movies are, like, assuming Jim Carrey doesn't come back, like, how are we going to get through this without Eggman?
I feel like Metal Sonic can.
Yeah, Metal Sonic could probably hold his own.
Metal
honestly.
Sonic is able to stand. Metal Sonic has defected from Eggman enough and been the main villain of games enough to warrant him as a solo villain.
like Jim Carrey's like the main headliner guy. Like he gets first billing.
Yeah.
all the time.
My assumption is they're just going to start making original villains.
And which
I mean, like I like the human characters.
But I will
in
say
these
they could also do like some of the rival characters like the Babylon Rogues and whatnot and stuff like that.
I'd actually like to see the Babylon.
I mean, they
Rogues.
could.
I think I heard something that Riders is one of the games they can adapt. Actually.
Oh yeah, they do have access
and they
to
do.
Riders.
They actually have a recent arc in
And
the IDW comics going that's based on Riders.
Yeah, and like Heroes is one that can be adapted. I think Colors can be adapted. I think there's a bunch of games that there are
Don't
some.
they not have Unleashed on that list?
Unleashed and Lost World are the only two that are not on the list.
Oh, so we can't get the best Sonic villain of all time, Zavok.
Oh, thank God, we're safe from the Deadly Six. Thank God.
That wasn't for now.
Like-
for now, to be fair.
Oh, thank God.
Well, I mean, I just, like, I feel like, Jim Carrey has been kind of a weird grounding presence in these, like, a through line of just having him be there, like, Eggman's always like, even in games where Eggman isn't really the main bad guy, he's always kind of there.
Yeah.
Like, he even feels like distinct from the human characters. Like, the other human characters are, like, they're human characters, and I like them. I like Tom, I like Maddie.
I thought their chemistry was better.
Agent Stone.
Agent Stone.
Agent Stone's always great.
He was actually half decent in this one, actually.
love him.
I'm even fine with some of the gun guys. I like the girl they got to play Maria in this. She's
Okay,
cool.
She was good.
Okay, I have another prediction on this vein. They're gonna do what the Archie comics did and bring in an alternate dimension Eggman to replace
Oh,
him.
good. We're gonna get Eggman Nega.
No, not Eggman Nega. In the original Archie comics, after Sonic and his friends defeated and killed the original Eggman,
Wait,
an Eggman from an alternate dimension who had successfully roboticized all of Mobius moved to the main dimension and became the main villain. That is the Eggman with like the Sonic Adventure Onwards design that we've seen in the Archie comics from then on.
Wait, really?
It is only acknowledged again at the start of Ian Flynn's Archie comics run and is never brought up since.
Well,
Then the Mobius wave happened and rebooted the entire universe, so that was always the main Eggman.
So I do want to say one.
Archie Sonic is a trip.
But also, I will say one thing about
I mean, the thing about Eggman in these movies is really, like, he's about as much a cartoon as the actual
like,
cartoon characters. He doesn't really fit in with the other humans.
Because the thing is, like, he's the perfect balance of like intelligent, terrifying, and hilarious at the same time.
Yeah, no, he's a cartoon character
Exactly.
like all the animals.
I know, but I just want to say, the reason I made that prediction about Heroes and CD being combined, because one thing we actually didn't bring up, Sonic 4 is confirmed, but we're not going to be seeing it until spring of 2027.
I mean, that's like that's about the same gap.
2020
we
to
had.
2022, 2022 to 2024,
Yeah, so it's extra year.
2024 to 2027.
Yeah, that's it. That's
No, this is
significantly
releasing
more.
at the end of 2024 though, so 2025, 2026, roughly 2 years.
Yeah, but a little more than that. But the point I'm trying to make here is like that gives them more opportunity to introduce more cast people.
I still don't think they're gonna bloat it too much in the next one.
You
maybe
know,
not.
Like, I feel like if they really wanted to get all the cartoon talking animals in here, and if they like just were able to, we would have had Rouge. We might have even had Omega if they were pushing it.
Yeah, I mean,
but I feel like they want to, like, I don't know, maybe
now that
they feel that they've gotten like a solid decently liked trilogy of movies down. They just go for broke in the fourth one.
They very well could. They could pull a Fast Five out
I
of it. Because
could also see them just trying to. I could also see them introducing some of these guys in whatever the next spin-off
Like,
show
I mean,
is.
I feel
That's true,
I feel like after, like, for the first
then
three
again,
movies, you don't
then
want.
again, Knuckles barely had budget for 3 of them.
I feel
on
like for
screen
the
at
first
once.
3 movies, you don't want to go too crazy with unchecked expenditure, making a bunch of cartoon animals. But once you've got a stable franchise going,
You
then
got
with
3
number.
you got 3 of these. They make a ton of money. Go nuts.
You know,
like-
I can see it through that lens. I still don't think they're going to go that crazy, though.
I mean, they very well could. I mean, if they do, the rumor is a couple rumors. I mean, I could see the Shadow spinning off being like a Team Dark thing, and maybe like there's rumors that Knuckles could introduce the next season. If we could introduce like the Chaotix.
Are they
maybe.
doing another season?
There's
of
rumors.
Knuckles?
I mean, numbers don't lie. I mean, they might.
I mean, it was. It
Oh
was
it
big
did
on
do super.
Paramount,
It
right?
did do super well.
So honestly, if they're like, hey,
Just less bowling, please.
Yeah,
less
but hey,
bowling,
they could-
please.
less bowling and hopefully less Wade in this one, please.
and more Chaotix, please.
I mean, honestly, like the Chaotix are like a group of detectives or whatever, so you could just do like a mystery type thing.
Oh, that would actually makes sense.
Yes!
Knuckles Chaotix. Like,
yeah,
tie
oh,
them together already.
perfect. But yeah, honestly,
That's what
like,
the second season
like you could start
subtitle is.
branching out
Perfect.
in terms of genre.
or Knuckles and the Chaotix. But anyway, the point of trying to
What if they introduce Mighty in these?
that would be that would
Well,
I
at
mean,
the end
they
of
could.
well, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever our thoughts on the future
Okay,
are,
now here's my
whatever-
prediction. Mighty and Ray will be Amy's resistance buddies in the future, and both of them got assimilated by Metal Sonic. I mean, we will see Mighty and Ray die on screen in Sonic 4.
No, we won't.
I mean,
They already had to tone down the death of the child.
yeah, that's a good point actually. But
No, they won't die technically. We'll see them like converted into robots, like the robotization thing from the comics.
And speaking of the comics, we got one of those right here.
yes,
This is the first volume of the IDW series. Everything I just said about Archie earlier, none of that is necessary for this. This is
canon?
It takes place right after Forces, and
This is completely canon, but you don't even need to play Forces to read it. You will understand it pretty perfectly going in.
and it
introduces some great original characters. Like,
yes, can we get them in the stories?
God, if there was a movie with Surge in it,
That's not what I was saying. I was
God, imagine.
or Dr. Star.
No, that's what they do.
Starline, yes.
Starline. That's how they make
That's the
another
one.
villain. They bring in Starline.
and that way you can bring in like Tangle and Whisper and all.
Starline would
And
be
you know,
great
maybe
in
down
these.
the line,
Oh my god.
And maybe if down the line, Jim Carrey, who hates sequels
Yeah.
but loves this for some
Yes,
reason.
he'd voice Starline, but
Well, no,
not
not voice Starline. He'd just do that thing in the comics where Eggman comes back and just overhands Starline like he's Loki in the original Avengers.
hell yes.
Okay, for a voice of, I know we're talking speculative stuff.
I have a good one in mind for Starline already.
Who are you thinking?
If you want to do like a
Steve Carell.
no,
I was thinking someone with like a more kind of suave voice.
I already know.
Steve Carell.
He's about to smack you in a minute. But bold choice, Jason Statham.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't think Jason Statham likes these kind of movies.
Starline is a nerd. He needs to be played by someone who can be both suave and a nerd. So my pitch is actually Donald Glover.
I mean,
Not what I was thinking. I was gonna say.
you're just saying that because he's a duck in his name. The guy's name is Donald.
No, I didn't actually think about that when I saw it. I was just
If
thinking.
I'm thinking nerd and good looking, I'm thinking Nicholas Holt.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good choice too.
if they get Lex Luthor and then he's Starline back to back, I will.
I'm not being too serious about this. I feel like I said, predicting casting is like shooting fish in a barrel. There's a million actors in
But
All
Hollywood.
fun to do though.
And speaking
But
of,
what our speculation is, whatever
Seriously, though.
our thoughts about the
Seriously
future
though,
are.
Paramount, that's a free idea for a villain in one of your sequels coming up. Use that.
But I will say one last thing before we wrap up. I will, because we've been going on for
Whatever
very
our
long.
thoughts on speculation are, whatever all that we think the business side of thing will be. What we think
Good
about,
movie, really good
characters,
movie.
the comics.
Yeah.
Great, good movie. Like, this is still weirdly consistent, has, enough heart to be genuine, enough wacky stuff to appeal to all the kids.
Yes, but let me just say one last thing. And considering that Jim Carrey voiced played 2 characters in this, could Ben Schwartz play Metal
Ben
Sonic?
Schwartz could totally be Metal Sonic. He could do that thing that, a bunch of, they like doing in movies where like they double cast to show contrast.
But here's the real thing. I want Ben Schwartz to play Scourge, even though I know it'll never happen.
Yeah, but I will say one. I'm sorry, we're going on too long.
You're saying 2 things.
But
now.
also, yes, I know. But I will say, if Ben Schwartz voices Metal Sonic, Neo has a very different voice from Metal Sonic.
Well, I mean, just put it through a filter.
Yeah, but like, or they could get someone else entirely, to be fair.
Okay.
Again, casting, shooting fish in a barrel.
Last
Yeah.
thing before we go.
For real this
First
time.
off, before I say this, we are not sponsored by Humble Bundle.
Or IDW.
Humble Bundle and IDW are currently running a promotion for the holiday season and for fans of Sonic 3, where you can get the first 8 volumes plus bonus stuff of the Sonic the Hedgehog IDW comic for only $13.
That is 13, not 30, $13.
Yes, that's like a bleeping steal right there.
That's like the price of one trade.
That is the entire like first few arcs of the Sonic comics, including the Metal Virus story, which
that thing goes hard.
honestly, I could see that being part of Sonic.
Shadow, unfortunately, Shadow's not that good in early IDW, but it's been picking up for him
He's
recently.
getting a miniseries next year.
There you go. It's a little extra time for the year of Shadow, but
And also play the Shadow Generations game just dropped. It's the best Sonic game in ages.
yes. But anyway, I think we need to wrap up because we're never.
We've been going on for a while.
This might be our longest discussion. Yeah, it
was a good one.
And it was our loudest one too, probably. But that wraps up all the Spectrum of Opinions discussions for season 1, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, we're not done yet, because when we come back, we're gonna have a few more segments that contain some fun games, delicious treats, and a truly unforgettable music performance from an up-and-coming performer who is unfreaking believable. Don't go anywhere. The Spectrum Show Holiday Special. We'll be right back.
Gotta go fast.
That was fun. Welcome back to the Spectrum Show Holiday Spectacular, everyone. We are the cast of the Spectrum Show. We're going to do something we've never done before on the show. But before we get to that, we have a special guest. We have our wonderful studio coordinator, Andrea from Access Framingham with us. So, Andrea, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Spencer.
Of course. So, specifically, we're going to do a little bit of a simple trivia game. Now, this isn't anything new, as other popular YouTube channels have done trivia games for their special episodes or live streams before. That being said, considering this is our first time doing this on our show, we'll have to be a little bit more simplified. So, you might be wondering, how is this going to work? What are the rules? And I'm glad you asked, because the rules are rather simple. Sean is behind the camera with all the questions, and he will ask us, both of us, a question. And if you have the answer, lightly smack the table, since we don't have a buzzer, and you will be able to make your guess. However, if you get the question wrong, the other player will have a chance to steal. This game will also be done in rapid succession, and we'll both have a maximum of 5 seconds to come up with an answer, or after we're given the question. So whoever has the most questions correct by the end of the game is what we in the talk show business like to call the winner. You ready, Andrea?
I'm ready.
All right, and Jackson, you'll be keeping score.
All right, I'm gonna.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't hear that, Jackson will be keeping score and Sean will be asking the questions. So Sean, what is our first question?
Okay, first category is going to be music.
Okay, you might have the advantage of this one too.
We'll see.
Real talk, aside from music, I feel like I may have overtuned the questions a bit, so consider this more of a learning experience than trivia.
Okay. Okay.
Smarter than a nerd.
Yes, we'll call this Are You Smarter Than a Nerd?
All right.
Not a sponsor, by the way.
Okay, so first up, music. Arguably, this year's most famous event in music was a feud between 2 rappers. Which 2 rappers were involved in this feud? Spencer.
Who are Drake and Kendrick Lamar?
We're not doing this Jeopardy
Are
style.
we answering like that?
If you want to.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can if you want.
Yeah, okay, we'll do it. Let's make the executive decision that we are.
I feel like we're doing the Family Feud episode of Always Sunny.
Okay, so let's.
Okay.
I have a question.
Anyway, that's
Yeah, wait,
1 point to Spencer.
All right, she has a question.
Can you buzz in before you were done reading the question, or no?
You can buzz in before you're done.
Yes, but if you're wrong, I'll finish reading the question and
Okay.
he gets first dibs.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair.
All right.
All right, next question.
What popular 2000s band made their comeback this year with a new lead singer?
Who? Linkin Park?
Correct.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a good album, by the way. From Zero. Check it out.
Who performed the original theme song for Sonic the Hedgehog 3?
Oh, the game or
The movie.
Oh, the movie. Yeah, I know. Okay.
This is
Jelly Roll?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm clearly at this.
I'm letting you win.
Yeah, this is totally staged, by the way. Next question.
Number 4. This year, Fortnite premiered its rhythm game mode, Fortnite Festival. Who was
yes.
the first featured artist?
Oh, I know one of the artist, but I don't know if I know the exact
Can
one.
I phone a
Here's
friend?
a hint. He
Okay.
within the past 5 years, he had done the Super Bowl halftime show, and it has some pretty snazzy glasses.
Oh, I think I know who it is. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna be nice and let you figure it out.
Snazzy glasses.
He did the. You want another hint?
You can ring in.
No, I want you to get a point.
I'll get some. I'm just warming up.
Don't go easy on her.
Okay, fine. The Weeknd.
Yes.
The glasses, it's so off.
For reference, the later seasons were Lady Gaga, Billie Eilish, Metallica, and Karol G, with
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg as the latest.
And
Yeah.
number 5, a hard question tuned specifically for people like me.
Okay.
This year, popular anime Kaiju number 8 had its opening theme performed
Fudge.
by an artist primarily famous outside of Japan. Who is he?
Oh,
Hint, it's a British singer.
a British. Okay.
A famous British singer?
famous one.
Famous, really famous right now.
Oh, I think there's a couple of. Can I ask for a hint?
Yes.
Are they from a boy band?
No,
Not really.
Okay.
No.
they're an independent act.
Independent act. Okay. Okay.
Oh God.
I-
If I get it wrong, can we keep guessing until
Yeah,
someone?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
You just gotta.
All right,
alternate.
Ed Sheeran.
No.
Oh, that's what I was gonna guess too. Okay, so it's not Ed Sheeran. Who else is last?
It's an alias. It's not a name.
An alias. Okay. What genre do we know?
Uh,
I can't really name the genre.
the genre's it's kind of just like a rock pop.
Kind of sounds grungy to me. I don't know.
Oh crap!
All right, then you
Should
want
we
to call it in?
Should we just pass? Yeah. I think we have to call it.
Youngblood.
Oh, Young. Yeah,
He performed Abyss, the opening theme to Kaiju number 8.
Well, sorry, I don't watch anime, but yeah, I know who Youngblood is. I know he exists. I don't know his music.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, TV.
We should have asked the ending theme.
Is it 4-0?
Oh yeah, I know. Totally know One Republic. But so it's one. You have 0 and I have
It's
3.
4-0.
4 to 0. Good. I'm gonna. We need to let.
4.
No,
What's the
don't.
4th one?
Spencer.
No, maybe it's 3.
Kendrick, Drake,
Spencer.
Jelly.
Oh, Spencer got the weekend right with a hint.
I guess.
That's like 3.5.
Let's call it half. 3.5 points.
All right. Let's
We're not going to count these by the way, we're not counting these like in total. We're counting them by section. So he's won one section.
Okay, so one. Oh, I see. So you have a chance to win more. Okay. Our next category is television. You said.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Name the social media savvy superheroine that menaced the boys in their latest season.
Oh, I haven't seen The Boys.
I haven't seen it either.
Is it a real platform?
Here's a hint. The name. The name of this superheroine refers to a popular 4th of July item. It's like a firework, but not quite.
I can.
Yes.
Firecracker?
There we go.
There you go. I was gonna guess that, but I was like, I want to see if she
That
knows.
was pure luck.
Okay.
That I do know that name.
All
from
right.
The Boys.
Number 2. Honestly, this one might be easier than number 1.
Okay.
What 2 Star Wars television series premiered their first season this year?
Okay, I know. Oh, I know. There's 2 of them, right?
Yes.
2 of them is their first seasons.
2 of the first. Oh, I know. The Acolyte and Skeleton Crew.
Correct.
Nice.
I
have not seen any of the live-action Star Wars shows. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
Despite being named after its apparent lead character, the Paramount Plus original series Knuckles is actually about this character.
Do you want a hand?
Is it Sonic?
It's
No.
it's not. I was gonna say it's not one of the animated guys. Do you want the actor or the character?
Character.
Wade Whipple,
Yeah.
played by Adam Pally, by the way. It's an original character. I wouldn't have
All
blamed you
right.
for not getting that one.
Number 4.
Did he see these questions before?
No, because we
I'm
reviewed
kidding,
Knuckles
I'm
this
kidding,
past.
I'm kidding.
No.
Anyways,
we sent them to him just so he knew that we had them ready, but he didn't look at them.
yeah. I
I'm
honestly
kidding.
didn't look at these. Like,
It's okay.
Okay.
All right. What popular 2000s Brangelina film was remade this year as a television series?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Correct.
wow. I didn't.
That's my millennial coming through.
I've never heard. How have I not heard of that?
It's a Brad Smith and Angelina Jolie movie where they're secretly both spies. But
Oh.
they're married and neither of them know each other as a spy.
All right,
didn't know
number
that.
5. Number 5 was originally name 4 video game franchises featured in the Amazon original series Secret Level, but really, I'll just settle whoever can name more.
Okay. I'm. Yeah.
This is.
Yeah,
go
I know.
ahead.
I can. I'll name 4 just to make it fair. Or as many as I can. Pac-Man is one of them.
Correct?
Mega Man.
Yes.
God of War. Is that one of them?
Technically not correct.
Technically not correct.
Oh.
There were PlayStation franchises in it though.
PlayStation is actually the third answer.
What? That doesn't. What?
It's what they marketed it as. And
Oh,
what
fair
they
enough.
sold
All right.
is PlayStation,
Okay, so considering that you weren't able
let's
to
just- let-
get to 4, we'll do. This is 2-2, so we're just gonna give this a tie. I think.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's. No one gets any
Let's
points.
move on to movies.
Yeah,
Let's move
movies
on
we
to
might get a
movies.
little-
Let's go to the next one.
This is bad.
This is rough.
This is
for
really
me.
is
It's
rough.
very funny though.
It's rough
it is.
for me.
It's true.
All right.
It's rough for me at times.
All right.
This one should be easy.
I mean, hopefully. Which MCU actor portrayed the lead role of Optimus Prime / Orion Pax in this year's Transformers 1? He's an actor of godly repute.
This is a trick.
No, but it's the. I'll give you it.
From the MCU?
It's the obvious one, by
Feel
the
free
way.
to tag in.
Is it Thor? Chris Hemsworth?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. I was giving you a hint with like.
All right.
Ah, come on, don't go easy on her. She knew.
Oh, I'm just trying to level the game, even the playing
All
field.
right. Next question.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. In Wicked, the actress of which famous Disney princess visits Elphaba and Glinda when they arrive in the
Oh,
Emerald City?
I think it's gonna be obvious when you actually hear it. I'm just gonna say it. You want the actress or
I
the
mean-
character?
Look, it's the
Character.
character. Which Disney princess does she play?
Elsa.
Yes, Dina Menzel.
It was Idina Menzel, but it was you know what I'm referring to because she played Elsa.
That
She
was one
played.
I came up with and was really proud of.
Yeah, that's a good one though. I will say.
It's a
All
good
right.
question.
Which famous actor was unlucky enough to be the first on-screen death in Beetlejuice?
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen this.
He's
one.
well known for his appearances on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia,
Oh, I think.
and is also notable for directing Matilda.
Danny DeVito?
Yes!
Yeah. I'm trying to. Like I said, trying to even the playing field.
Just you don't
All
have
right.
to tell the people
next
that.
one is a funny one. The next one is one of Sean's.
Oh boy.
What recently released horror movie saw Demi Moore contend with the horrors of body image, addiction, and Dennis Quaid?
Is this recent? Is this recent?
Very recent.
Very recent.
Oh,
Like this year recently?
Yes.
This year.
Just
Okay.
a couple months ago.
I'm gonna take a bold guess. Smile 2?
Nope.
Was I close?
No, not even in the ballpark.
Can you give us a hint?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's an original horror film,
It's
not tied to a franchise.
Oh.
you know, let's see, starts with an S.
No, wait. So smile.
One-
Smile starts with an S. What are you talking about? Like.
Doesn't mean it's smile. Lots of words start with an S.
Oh God.
Is it one word?
One,
It's
two
the,
wor-
it's the and the word.
I'll give you a few more. The Sub.
Marine.
Oh no. We're gonna have to call this one. I
The,
have no-
the Substance.
Oh, the substance.
I said a submarine.
That's a movie he really likes.
Yes, indeed.
That's a real. Wait, that's actually a movie?
Yes.
I knew that.
You think I would just make up a fake movie for a question?
No. Not. I was talking about her thing. She said the submarine.
The Submarine is not a movie that I'm aware of.
I mean, it probably will be at some
It
point.
could be.
Anyway, that was
Anyway,
that was a hard one, honestly.
Anyway, even if you get this right, it's good you're gonna tie, but
also-
we're gonna ask it anyway. Which famous DC Comics event was adapted into a trio of awful animated movies in 2024?
Yep. Crisis in Infinite Earths.
Correct.
I saw those. Actually.
Okay, so you've won one segment and we've tied two.
All right.
Okay.
So
Not given our track record, that's pretty good.
Let's do games next.
Okay, so This might be hard for us because I'll be the first to admit I don't play a lot of games with just saying something. I did stream a Sonic Generations.
There's some easy
To be
ones.
fair, this
Okay.
first question will be a gimme if you're a Sonic fan.
Okay.
What is Sonic the Hedgehog's favorite food?
Chili dogs.
Yes, indeed.
Easy money right there. We're not actually getting paid, by the way, but next question.
What is the selling point and honestly kind of wild, like first for the Zelda franchise that, you know, that
for Echoes of
for the recent Legend of Zelda game, Echoes of Wisdom.
Zelda's playable?
Technically true, but you kind of like she's been playable before.
But like as a main character.
Yes.
Yes, that is it.
That's what I was referring to.
All right.
Do you need me here still?
It's good.
We want you still here, of course. I need an opponent.
Okay.
I mean, you were doing pretty well in those other categories, honestly.
We'll
You
see.
did some good. Anyway, next question, please.
This third person, Starship Troopers inspired shooting game, saw a surprisingly successful launch at the start of the year and a decent showing at this year's Game Awards.
It's a
What-
shooter. It's a shooter
What
game.
was that game?
What kind of game?
Shooter,
A shooter. Okay.
inspired by Starship Troopers.
What's left? Wait, and it was up for a lot of game awards.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't up for a lot, but it had a big segment.
Okay.
Can I phone a friend?
Sure.
I don't know.
That would be Helldivers 2.
Oh yeah, I totally would have.
Duh.
Yeah, I should have known that because it won a couple awards too. I think.
All right.
Sorry.
Which 5 Sony games have dedicated levels in the 2024 Game Awards Game of the Year winner, Astrobot?
What, 5 levels?
Look, I'll let you go with 3.
Okay, so.
There are 5 dedicated levels based on PlayStation franchises, and you.
Oh,
have to name
okay.
3. Think about like popular PlayStation games.
It's all you.
Okay.
1 per generation.
Oh, 1 per generation. Is God of War one of them?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's a good start. Okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
So so 1 per generation, right? Okay. Horizon?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, it's got PS2, got PS4. What is 3's gotta be? Uncharted?
Correct.
Oh my god!
Alright, you got it.
The other ones were for PS1, Ape Escape, and what was the PlayStation Vita one?
The PlayStation Vita one, the one that I was expecting to be the one that tripped up everyone, was Loco Roco.
That's right. I do remember seeing that. Yeah.
Me too.
And for some reason they just
can't believe I
decided.
got that.
For some reason, they decided to just make a whole Loco Roco level instead of just making an Astrobot level that was Loco Roco themed.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say about Astrobot before we move on, amazing references.
And I know that technically Preston is dominating this, but like I said, this is
That's all right.
educational, and I'm more asking these questions
Yes,
to elucidate things for you.
Yeah, and
Thank
Preston's
you
not
for
here, by the
doing
way.
that.
This question is more for me than anything else.
Oh gosh.
because I want to talk about this because I think it's
Okay.
funny.
Okay.
What is the most distinctive feature of Game Awards Best RPG, Best Narrative, Best Soundtrack? Best Soundtrack was Final Fantasy VII. Best Art Direction. Best RPG, Best Narrative, Best Art Direction, Game Awards winner, Metaphor ReFantasio. What is the most distinctive feature of its battle music?
I'm going to be very general with this, but the anime style music?
Oh, you sweet summer child. No, it's that it's sung by a monk chanting in Esperanto.
What?
Duh.
Okay, I actually didn't know that, but
That's common
the
knowledge.
more you know, folks.
The more you know. All right.
Yeah, that was I was destined to fail at that one.
Remember how we said that last question was mainly for his enjoyment? This entire category's for our enjoyment.
Oh god, we're gonna suck at this
Is
one.
this still games?
No, we're on comics now.
Oh,
we're
forget it.
We're both gonna suck at this one.
I mean, considering that we have about 5 categories that we're working with, and you've technically won 2, and we've tied 2 others, technically Preston has this. But like I said,
Preston isn't here.
oh wait, no, Spencer's has this. Spencer has this.
We're keeping that in.
Yeah,
Shut up.
You know what? I'll keep. I'm just gonna keep that in because it's gonna be funny regardless.
Spencer has this, but like I said, my enjoyment.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing.
So now we're moving on to comics, which is really more of a did you know thing.
Okay.
So, which hero has a penchant for clobbering and a heart of gold beneath his orange, rocky exterior? He'll be starring in an MCU movie next year.
The Thing.
Yes, indeed.
Fantastic Four.
Of the Fantastic
Of
Four.
course.
I'm so sorry, Andrea, that I brought you into this.
It's okay.
What notable Spider-Man ability does Miguel O'Hara, the Spider-Man of the year 2099, not have?
Oh, Billy, I should know this. I watched Spider-Verse last year.
Think about Spider-Man's powers.
And also remember that web slinging is equipment, not a power.
Is that it?
No.
Oh. That's so embarrassing.
I'm not going to tell you the answer.
That is a good point. But,
I'm just gonna sit back.
God, oh my God, this may be the hardest I've ever laughed in one of these episodes. I'm gonna guess Oh no, I'm gonna make.
Well, I mean, technically, now that I think about it.
Some Spider-Man has natural weapons. Some Spider-Man have natural weapons. It's
Look, you're making it more complicated for him to guess.
Wall crawling.
I mean, technically that's true, but he has claws to wall crawl with.
Oh, okay, but
He doesn't adhere, he just digs into it. So technically, he does have wall crawling.
crap. Let's just pass on this one.
What's the answer?
Well, it's his spider sense.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh my God. Yeah, that's so obvious.
Instead, he has accelerated vision, which means everything just moves slower for him, kind of.
That's still cool though. Anyways, next question. Let's get this over with.
All right. The famous superhero Moon Knight, star of his own, I say
seen that.
famous, but
You have? Okay.
name all 3 of Moon Knight's identities.
Oh, I know this
Nope.
one. These are luckily easy common questions for me. Okay.
Easy, and yet you didn't get the last one.
That one was hard. Okay. Okay. Anyway. Okay. It's Mark Spector is one of them.
Yes, that's the one who's usually fronting.
Stephen Grant.
Correct. Which is also the name of a comics author who has written Moon Knight before.
Oh. And Jake Lockley.
Exactly.
Yeah, I watched the show.
I feel like I should have had my son on the phone in my
I know.
ear.
You should have been on the. You should have got Zoom
Well,
ready for him.
At least we know now. We learned something from
You're gonna
this.
want, yeah.
It's a learning experience.
As we said.
All right. This one was particularly for my enjoyment.
Oh,
You've
God.
said that a lot.
I mean,
True.
this one especially. Just this one. This is my favorite one. Okay, so from where does the Incredible Hulk draw his power?
Oh. I feel like this is a trick question, is it?
I mean, there's 2 parts to it.
Oh, 2 parts. Is it? I feel. Is this more complicated than we're making it?
Just say what comes to mind.
His anger.
Anger.
I mean, no, like,
What?
I mean, like, yes, he gets stronger the more he gets, but like most people get angry and they don't grow green and muscular.
That's true.
Why does he in particular grow big and muscular when he gets angry?
Duh, gamma radiation.
Yes, but where does it come from?
Oh crap! I don't. It was from the gamma bomb, was it?
A
A version of it was.
Satan.
What? The person, Corey, our director in the control room, is literally just wheezing with laughter, by the way.
Yes.
Is that actually true?
As revealed, or rather retconned, by British author Al Ewing in his famous Immortal Hulk series, gamma radiation is emitted by Satan, who is God's Hulk, as it turns out.
I thought it was Mephisto.
There's like 50 Satans in Marvel Comics, but this is the real one.
The one below all.
Okay, so Mephisto not confirmed, like deconfirmed in this case.
He's got his own stuff to deal with.
Okay, so anyways, let's move.
And now, for all the marbles, I guess, or
So
whatever.
I guess if you get this one, let's just say whoever wins this one just gets it all.
You know, last year's Across the Spider-Verse featured quite a lot of Spider-Men, women, and other people of all shapes and sizes.
Correct.
Name 5 of them.
Oh, can they at any point during the film, right?
Any of
Any
them.
point. Any of them.
Okay, so Miles Morales is definitely one of them.
I mean, let's just say Miles, Peter, and Gwen don't count because they're gimmies.
Oh, they don't count. Okay.
Miles, Peter, Gwen, and Miguel. They're like the 4 big
Crap! I was
names.
gonna say Miguel is my next one.
You gotta dig deep for this.
Spider-Man Noir was one of them.
Technically, he appeared at the end, but I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay, as did Penny Parker did.
Yes,
She
indeed.
also appeared in the movie itself, so she counts more.
Wait, she did?
She was in like the big Spider Society scene where they're all like talking to Miles. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, and then there was Oh, I'm trying to remember the name of the Indian one. You know who I'm talking about, right?
I mean, you could just leave it at Spider-Man India because that's what the
Yeah,
comics
Spider-Man
are
India.
called.
Okay, let's let that on slide.
That's
Oh.
Pavitra Prabhakar.
Yes, that
Obviously.
obviously is absolutely right. Spider-Punk.
Yes.
One more.
Oh, we need one more.
Dig deep for this one.
Dig deep, Spencer.
I had to do it for the I had to do it for the memes. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Let's see. Were there any like classic TV shows?
Oh,
that made it?
Spectacular Spider-Man! Duh!
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so. All right.
This was still really
You know that
funny.
it's a common phenomenon. Like sometimes you can just roll stuff off your head, but when someone asks you about it and you have to forcibly recall it, you're drawing a blank.
Oh my God. that was fun.
This is
That
no
was fun.
indication of how smart I
All right.
actually am.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. This is all useless. This is all useless crap.
Like
it's all useless crap.
like I said,
that's it.
educational, and you did
Yeah,
tie
and
for
I
2
will-
sections.
And I will say, I will say, yeah, that's better than my. Anyways, what was
Sir.
Spencer,
I'm so sorry.
Spencer, don't do her like that. Don't-
Anyway, so it's clear that this was a severe for their severe for
There was some
severe
overtuning
enjoyment.
on my part.
Yes,
and
it was for
Jackson's part.
I am sorry.
Yes, I will say
You're not
for some of
sorry?
those questions we were at a severe disadvantage. So yeah, I clearly won that one. But anyways, when we come back, we're going to do our culinary showcase. So and let us know if you want us to do this more in the comment section if you're interested in us doing more of these games. So we'll be right back, folks. That was really fun. Welcome back, everyone. We are the cast of the Spectrum Show, and it's time for yet another first here on the show. Specifically, we're going to do a little culinary tasting session involving some absolutely gorgeous baked goods from a local bakery called Dulce D Leche. Letter D, by the way. Shout out to the amazing folks over there who are so kind and excited to collaborate with us and allow us to present some of their treats here that they have to offer. And that being said, I don't know. I was going to say I don't know what most of these are, but actually I think I know what a lot of these things are. So we're just going to dive in and see what we got. So let's see what we got here.
These were called aratones, right?
Something like that. And then
Yeah.
we got regular ones. We got chocolate covered ones. We
Yeah.
got some coconut macaroons. That's what I'm taking first.
Yeah. We got some cookies, both chocolate chip and I think these are oatmeal.
Yeah, those are definitely open origins. So that's what your first one.
Snickerdoodles, which I'm.
I was gonna get some molasses on those actually.
Are they snickerdoodles or molasses? I'm gonna try.
They look like molasses already. Are you good? Yeah, those,
These are molasses.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I like those a lot too. So
These are good.
all right, so I'm gonna take a macaroon.
I like the sugar texture on these.
Yeah, they
actually.
do that a lot. Oh, and this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we got a coconut macaroon here.
And here's the
Little cross section. Let's see if this holds up. Oh yeah, that's incredible.
I'm not really a coconut guy, so I'm glad you like it.
I love these. These are like some of my favorites, honestly. Like, I would get these again. Andrea and Corey, if you guys want to come in and try these, there are tons available. Oh my God.
Once I finish with this, I'm gonna try one of the brownies.
We probably should take one more for each and then call it after the.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We will also do a shout out.
Yeah. We already did.
Oh yeah, we did. Well, I'm gonna try the brownie they got.
Well, I consider to sit here and inhale this. Sorry. How's that?
Oh man, it feels like pure fudge.
Yeah, that's what. So, I would definitely order from this place again.
Yeah, I also like their gelato too. We had some
We did try that yesterday.
We tried some gelato when we first got the order.
And also, before anyone asks, our rest of the cast and crew will also be able to enjoy the treats hours. We have plenty, as you can see, and we're probably gonna have a couple more people coming in. Who knows?
All right.
So we're gonna box it up before we inhale all these. So
Good call.
like I said, we got plenty to enjoy, but we're gonna go clean up. But next up, folks, we've got an absolutely extraordinary performance, and I'm gonna say right now, this might just be our strongest one yet. So don't go anywhere. The Spectrum Show Holiday Spectacular. We'll be right. Welcome back, everyone. We are the cast of the Spectrum Show, and it's time for our final segment of the Spectrum Show Holiday Spectacular for 2024. So that being said, we've got an absolutely tremendous guest on deck for an incredibly fitting performance. He's a rising star in every sense of the word and easily has one of, if not the best voice we have ever had on any of these episodes. So that being said, making his television debut, please give a warm, spectromatic welcome to Brandon Baskin.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, a dozen show signs of poppin', but I've got some corn for poppin'. But the lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, and my tear was still goodbying. But the lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, it doesn't show signs of stopping, but I've got some corn for popping. All the lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. All the way home I'll be warm. Oh, the fire is slowly dying, and my tear is still goodbying. All the lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
That was extraordinary. Brandon Baskin, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. So we're going to take one quick break and we'll be right back to wrap up the show. Oh my God, that was unbelievable. Brandon Baskin, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Well, guys, I don't know about you, but I think we've had an incredible year here on the Spectrum Show. Not to mention an incredible first season as a whole.
I couldn't agree more, Spencer. Also, we'd like to give a massive thanks to Brandon for that truly astonishing performance. Give him a round of applause, everyone.
All right, we need to wrap up this this really incredible, crowded, just all around, lovely holiday special we've had going here. But before we go, I'd like to recap the plans for our season 2, our second big year of the Spectrum Show. They have slightly changed since September. And Spencer, that's you've got all that lined up.
I do, but I'm actually going to have you guys wait till January to see it, because we're going to do a separate live stream where we're going to go over the plans for not only season 2, but also our Spectrum Show Best of 2024 award nominees. So you guys will get to see what made the cut and what didn't.
And you'll be able to vote live on several categories.
Yeah, and starting early in January, you guys will be able to vote. Oh, and we'll have more details coming soon.
I hope you like our nominees. It was a process getting them all nailed down.
Oh my God, it
took like 4 months.
It literally took 4 months and a lot of fidgeting here and there. But
added categories, cut categories.
It was at the point where
it's a good year for stuff.
It really was.
Very good year.
Yeah, but guys, we can't just wrap up this episode. We have to wrap up this entire season. So that being said, much like we did during our pilot season, I think we should bring back out everybody. So if Brandon, Corey, Andrew, if you guys would like to come in and come back on camera.
We've had a lot of people help us throughout this first season. A lot of people who can't be here. A lot of people who we're thankful for, and you brought us on during this season. So I just want to say a big holiday, Christmas, what have you. Thank you to you, Spencer,
for just having me so much, guys. I just want to address something. I said this back in the pilot season, but we may not look like much, but all of these people here, they bust their chops 24 hours a day and for a very long time, sometimes for weeks and at this point, a whole year at this point.
I mean, you're the real champ here.
Thank you. I mean, between
that's not even on the teleprompter. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, but yeah, basically between scripting the episodes, producing, filming, everything from beginning to end, we could not get this whole show together, and let alone this entire holiday special, without every person here on this team. So I just want to say massive thank you to all of you, but I think we need to wrap this up like we normally do. So guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we had making it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, a friendly comment, share this video with your family and friends, and subscribe to our YouTube channel with notifications on so you never miss any of the content we put out. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitch, and as well as join our official Discord server. All that will be in the description, by the way. And join our Patreon for just $1 per month, where you can get access to a bunch of exclusive content you can't get anywhere else. And be sure to keep an eye out for our new Blue Sky account, which will be coming early next year.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah. So from all of us here at the Spectrum Show, we just want to say thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and until season 2, everybody now, good night, everybody.